Good evening, everyone. I hope you all can hear me and see me clearly. One second, let me try the camera. Yeah, it's working now. Cool. I was just trying to resolve the camera's lighting and all, and it worked fine now. And I'm glad that it's better than yesterday, I hope. Yesterday it was a mess and a hassle, right? Today we have resolved the lighting as well as kind of on time, a little bit late though, because of this resolution. Okay. Today's session will be writing and listening and reading. Like I said, the sessions will be, oscillating. Remember that. One second. So the session, like I said, will be alternating, keep alternating. That is listening and reading and writing and speaking. And we'll have sessions without break. If there's any emergency, I'll let you know at least 1 or 2 hours before the class. For example, the timing change, or there is a delay, or there is a cancellation, or there is a shortening of the class because of some reason, we'll let you know, right? Otherwise, there is no change in timing or class length. Class will be of the same length, same strategy, right? Okay. So today's session, like I said, is listening and reading. And in listening and reading, we have two question types total, one for reading, one for listening. But because this is session one, for reading and listening, we haven't understood what are the question types that we have, right? So we'll see that first. What question types do we have when it comes to listening and reading, and what is the structure? First of all, we have not seen that either. So let's understand the structure first of all. We'll start with reading, and then we'll move on to our listening data. So in reading, when it comes to reading, we have total 40 questions. Remember, we have total 40 questions, right? The structure I'm telling you. Because no one here is for general training, I'm not going to share the general training structure. I'll share it, but just for your doubt, if you think, oh, general training structure is a little bit different, no, you will understand that it's not that different whatsoever. You will see that. There are total 40 questions in reading. General training and academic is same till here. Okay. These 40 questions are then subdivided in 3 sections. Section 1, Section 2, and Section 3. And you're supposed to complete these 40 questions in 60 minutes. Remember that. You are supposed to search the answer, write the answers in the answer sheet. Everything is within 60 minutes itself. You don't get any extra time. First thing. Second, if you see that we have 3 sections, Section 1, Section 2, and Section 3, it'll be same for general training and academic, both, right? We don't have change whatsoever. So like I said, 1, 2, and 3. And you can see that 40 questions, when divided in 3 sections, we have 13 to 14 questions per section. So we are going in depth now. So please start taking notes. 13 to 14 questions per sections you will get. Okay. These sections in academic, I'm talking about, okay? In academic will always be in the form of a single passage. One section equal to one passage. Huge passage. Passage is a collection of paragraphs. So this will be a passage 1, passage 2, and passage 3. Now, passage 1 will have two question types connected to it. For example, let's say true, false, not given, and matching heading. So 1, 2. Passage 2 will have two question types too, 3 and 4, let's say matching and all those stuff. And passage 3 will have 2 to 3 question types. So we have 5, 6, and 7. Maximum 3, okay? Minimum it has 2, as always, remember that. So the minimum number, the question types we have is 6, maximum is 7. These are question types. I'm not talking number of questions, but types. For example, fill in the blanks is a question type, or we call them sentence completion. Then we have answer in short, or we have matching features, matching heading. So we have searched 9 to 10 question types total. Out of them, we have 6 to 7 in every exam. Okay, great. Now this was for the structure of academic. Okay. Now what this paragraph looks like, we need to see that, right? First of all, each paragraph is huge when it comes to academic. In general training, the paragraph size is a little bit smaller. I'll show you that too, so that you don't get any, you don't have anything unturned. We have everything understood and clear. So when it comes to academic, the passage size is huge. We'll see an example of academic first, and you will see three different passages and three different sections connected to that, right? So let me share my display and show you what I mean by that. So this is our question paper for academic. As you can see, this is our passage one and starts over here and continues for almost 2 pages, not almost, exactly 2 pages, right? And then comes two types of questions. Question type 1 to 7 is the first type, called true, false, not given. Then we have the 8 to 13 one, which is called matching feature, right? Two. As soon as two question types done, we change the section, we change the passage. Passage is next one page, 2 pages. So almost 2.5 pages total long. And then we have few more question types. Like I said, two question types starting from here and ends in here. These are the two question types that we have. Then we go with section 3 or reading passage 3, which is again huge passage, and we have 2 or 3 question types. Like I said, this is question type 1, then we have question type 2, and finally 3. There we go. Okay, so this is how your complete reading is organized. Okay, every correct answer you get 1 point. For example, they have mentioned question 39 and 40. You have to find, well, answers for these, right? So basically you are supposed to find out two answers out of these options. So one correct answer will fetch you 1 mark. There is no negative marking, and out of the two, if you get one correct, let's say, you will get 1 mark for that. Let's say you got B correct and D correct, you get 1 mark for that, and let's say D is your incorrect answer, you will still get 1 mark. If C is the correct answer and you chose C, you will get both the points, both marks. No negative marking whatsoever. Okay. All right. So this is how your test is organized. And now comes understanding a little bit about general training, just in case. Right? In general training, the only thing that will change is number of paragraphs. So here we have number of passages. Here we have one passage per section. They'll have two passages per section. So we have section 1, section 2, section 3. 3 sections are always set. In each section itself, we have passages. Passage 1, passage 2, passage 3, passage 4, like this. And final one is always large passage. Okay. Each passage has only one question type. 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, and then here we can have 3 types. So 5, 6, 7. So minimum 6 question types, maximum 7 question types. The only issue, like I said, each passage will be teeny tiny compared to academic. The last section will always be large for general training, will always be large, right? So we'll see an example of that as well, just for the sake of knowledge. And there you go. In general training, you can see the passage size is very small, starts from here and here. That's it. And then we have one question type only, that is called matching feature, right? First one. Then we have another passage starting from here itself and ending in the same page, right? Not like 2 pages long. And we have one more question type called true, false, not given, right? And then they change the section 2. And you can see again, 2 small passages, 2 small question types, and then we're done. Now comes section 3. Section 3, they have mentioned the questions first, but doesn't matter. Questions begin over here, 28 to 34 here, remaining questions there. But look at the passage size. Starts over here, continues 1 page, 2 pages, and 2.5 pages. So same as academic. The last passage is same as academic when it comes to general training. And that's why we don't separate the class in general training and academic when it comes to reading, because the question types are same, the strategies are same, they have large passages as well. So why to separate? In fact, they get the benefit, right? We try all sizes of passages just for our practice. So there's no need for separation if there is any need, but there's no need, right? Now, in scoring, how much converts into marks? Let's say out of 40, I get 30. What will be my band, right? So you have to search IELTS. You have to search IELTS score to band. There's a term you have to search, and then comes our official IELTS website. If you search this term, you will get official IELTS website called IELTS.org, and you'll be able to see this particular page. Let me share with you this page, and also not just share but also show you the page, because then we can discuss on the page. This is how the page will look like. And if you notice, if we go below that, if you go below, we have scoring pattern discussed. Okay. So for listening, for reading, for writing and speaking, we already have discussed these four descriptors. They have PDF available if you want to see. We already have discussed them. When it comes to reading, you can see here we have two separate structure. For academic, we have different. For general training, we have different. In listening, we don't have that. Okay. So in academic, as you can see, we have band 5, band 6, band 7, band 8. You will get zero point 0.5 as well, but they haven't shown that. It's just plus or minus 2 you will get. Okay. So for example, if you get 30 correct out of 40, you will be getting 7 bands. But if you correct 32, you'll be getting 7.5. If you correct 33, still you will be getting 7.5, but from 34, you will start getting 8. So as soon as the score is kind of crossing 0.75 or 0.75, let's say you never get a score of 0.75, this will jump towards 8. But if the score is 7.25, if we calculate according to that, the score goes to 7. But yes, this is the scoring they have mentioned here. That is 30 for 7 correct. For 30 correct, you will get 7 bands. For 23 correct, you get 6 bands. For 35 correct, out of 40, you get 8 bands in academic. Okay, remember that in academic, that's an important term. But when it comes to general training, you don't have that benefit. The scoring is difficult because of the reason you're going abroad for. Okay. So if you get 35 correct, you got 35 correct, you get 8 bands. Here you get still only 7 bands. Right. If you get 30 correct out of 40, you will get 6 bands. But if you get 30 correct out of 40 in academic, you get 7 bands. So we have a benefit for academic people. I wouldn't call it benefit. The paragraph size is way too large to consider this as a benefit anyway, right? Sorry. So it's kind of same. There's no benefit or no loss to anyone. It's all kind of same. Okay, no change whatsoever. Fine. Okay, is the structure clear to all of you guys about the reading part? Yes, very nice. Good. Good. So we'll do one thing. We'll now proceed to understand a question type itself rather than just discussing the structure. Now comes a question type. Right. You've already seen how the exam looks. We'll choose one of the question types like we have seen true, false, not given or sentence completion like that. We'll select one and we'll discuss that question type in detail. The question type that we have to discuss is called answer in short or answer the questions below. Now, when I say answer in short, we always think about our school experience. Our school experience says that answer in short in the sense you have to write in one sentence or let's say 2 sentences maximum. That's how we think. No. But in IELTS, when we say that answer in short, this is how it looks like. So they say that answer the questions below. This is answer in short itself, meaning same thing. And they'll ask you a question. You have to provide the answer. Fine. But it's not never one sentence or 2 sentences. It's always it's always based on number of words. And where do we see that? This is what we call instructions. Always remember, it's more important to read the instructions than the questions sometimes because they have mentioned no more than 2 words and or a number. Okay, let's understand the instructions. This will provide you information about how many words should we write. Okay. But how many words do we have to write? According to this instruction, what is the correct number? And what is this and or? Let's understand this statement as well in detail. Whenever there is a slash, that means the slash means this is also correct in a sentence, this is also correct in a sentence. So I can write the sentence twice. No more than 2 words and a number, no more than 2 words or a number. Okay, now let's understand what is the meaning of and a number and or a number. And a number means that say we have 2 words written. Let's say we have written the board. Okay. Now I can keep this answer as it is. That is 2 words are allowed. That is correct. But if I want to add a number and the answer consists of a number, that will be fine as well. So answer can be 2 little boats. Okay, two little boats would be correct, right? And also two little boats would be correct. Number written in the form of words or in this formats, both are correct. There is no issue in that, right? But I cannot write the little boat. The little boat consists of three different words, one, two, and three. And we are not allowed that. We are allowed two words plus a number. That means and is fulfilled here. One second, guys. So sorry, guys. Okay, let's continue. So answer can be two little boats. Answer cannot be the little boat because we are not allowed three words. Now that is fulfilling the condition of and. Or a number in the sense answer can be a single number as well. For example, two, three. That can be a number and that is allowed. So that this whole statement means if we have two words plus a number, so three are allowed in that case. If it's just a number is also allowed, but three words by themselves are not allowed. This is what the whole instruction, the statement in the instruction mean. Right? So this is important to understand. Now we can jump into finding the answer. Is this clear to you guys, the instructions? Or do we have any doubt? I hope it is clear. Okay, good. So we can proceed with understanding the question now. See, the question here is okay. Let's go with the strategy later. We'll understand. But also there's a sequence of what to do first. Some people might be confused, like Sam, you jump to the question directly, or what do we do? So we have various components in our questions. Okay, let's understand the whole structure. So components that we have is called a passage that is above you. You have seen that above we have a lot of paragraphs. That is, a paragraph is a passage is full of paragraphs. That is the first component. Second component is called instructions. This is the instruction. Okay, these are instructions like how do we find the answer. Then we have the questions, as you can see here, number one, two, three, whatever. These are the questions. In what order should I do what? Should I read the passage first, or should I read the questions first? Should I read the instructions first? What should be the order when it comes to solving any question type? When it comes to most of the question types. Okay. Let's understand that 90% of the questions will follow the same order. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about strategy. Strategy will be same, different for all. Only the order will be same, but inside what you're reading is completely different. Okay. 90% will have the same order. Always read the instruction first, then read the first question or one question at a time, and then go to the passage. Never read the passage first and then go to the question like I'll get some idea if I read the passage. No, no, no. This is common mistake people make. Okay. Some people just go to the passage, read the full passage, try to understand it and say, okay, I understood some part. Let me choose the correct answer. You cannot do that. There is no chance you will find enough time to complete this. See, if you read the passage first, remember that you have 40 questions and you have 60 minutes. If you try to do that, you are wasting more time in finding the answer. We don't have that much time. So we always read one question at a time. Yeah, of course, instructions are always first because it gives you information about what you're searching. Okay. Then we go to the question, let's say 15th question, we read it properly, figure out the meaning, whatever the strategy we want to apply, we apply on that, and then we go to the passage. That is the third at the end, right? We figure out the whole passage, or figure out wherever we have the answer, come back to the question, match with the question, then write the answer. Then again go to the number 16. That means we move to the 16th one. Read the question, understand it, go to the passage, find the answer, come back to the question, match with it, sorry, and so on. So we don't read two questions as well in one go. No, you don't do that. If you do that, you are wasting again your time. There is no chance you will find the answer quickly with that strategy. Okay, so this was the basic sequence, okay, for 90% of the questions. There will be one or two questions where we have to break our rule, but not completely, somewhat. We'll see that those questions, but in this question, for sure, you have to read the question first and only one question at a time. No, I mean instructions first and then question one and then passage. Okay. Now comes the real strategy or the algorithm. Whatever algorithm, what is strategy, whatever strategy you use, or whatever the protocol you use to find the answer, that is different for every question. Like this question, we have one. Second question, let's say another question we'll solve, we'll have a different strategy because we want to find the answer as quickly as possible. Right. Okay. So we'll start number 15th. Okay. Number 15th is basically that we called a question, like I said here. When we read a question, what do we notice? What do we pay attention to? Let's understand that. Now we go into details and we'll try to solve it. Okay. Whenever we have reading, we have some terms to understand. We have to apply those terms. So because you're day one, we have to get in details about those terms. Right. We'll start with the first term, and that first term is called keyword or key phrase. Okay, keyword or a key phrase. That is the first term. Second term that we have is called scanning. Third is skimming. Fourth is reading. And fifth is predicting. Okay, so these are the few terms that we have to understand in order to get the meaning or find the answer in your reading. Fine. Now, what do they mean? Because we have to use them almost every other strategy. We have to use these terms in some way or other. So please do pay attention here, first of all, and also write down these strategies or the definitions right now, whatever I'm telling you. Okay. So whenever we have a statement like this, which employee may choose not to work regular hours, let's say whatever the statement is, the question is, there is a keyword or a key phrase present in the question. Now, there are two definitions of keyword or a key phrase, okay? A keyword has a general definition. General definition says that whichever word is important for me is considered a keyword. Whichever word is important for me. But that is applicable around the world, not in IELTS. In IELTS, we don't use this definition that whatever word is important in the statement, we will be considering it as a keyword. No, it's not true. For example, if we take a sentence here, Sam will work or start working on a project tomorrow. Now, in this case, there is this, don't worry about that. Okay. There is this thing called important. So important is a project and working on it. So that could be considered a keyword, but no. According to IELTS, a keyword is a word that helps you to recognize where in the passage can I find the answer. So working and projects are weak keywords. You can say Sam is a good keyword because this is a proper noun. A proper noun will never change its form. You if you say Sam or a number, let's say 1980 or 1950, or let's say time mentioned, let's say 12 o'clock or whatever, they will never change that. They cannot. How will they change that? How will you write a synonym of 1920? You cannot. You have to mention that as it is. And that's why a keyword or a key phrase is a unique word that might not change, right? Unique word that might not change. And we have a possibility of choosing a unique word, which is a name, a number, or anything. Okay? Something like that. Fine. What if we don't have that? We are lucky we have a name here. We don't have any name here. In that case, what do we do? How do we resolve? What is the keyword? Because we don't have a name here, we don't have a number here, we have everything common. So whenever we have something common, remember two rules, okay, to figure out a keyword. This is going a little bit in detail, so please start writing notes. If we don't have a unique word to choose from, we have two steps to figure out. Number one, is there any negative associated with any in the sentence? Yes, we have not. Do not leave it. Close to that, we have a keyword around us. Okay, first hint, right? One more hint we have is look around in the sentences or the questions. So we have a question list, okay, here. When we look in the question list, you see some words are repeated, certain terms are repeated. Here only one term is repeated, which is employees, employees and staff and professional people, employees. So we have one thing which is repeated a lot. That means this cannot be considered a good keyword. It's opposite of a keyword, in fact. We'll remove this from the keyword. Not is connected to work regularly. So now we have our keyword or key phrase organized. Because employee, we cannot keep it as a good keyword because, like we said, we have a rule. If one thing is repeated in every question, cannot be considered a good keyword or key phrase. So we remove it. Eventually, we come to this point, not to work regular hours is a good keyword or a key phrase. That's how you figure out the keyword or key phrase if we don't have a proper noun. If we have a proper noun, we don't care about it. We say, oh, Sam will never change this meaning, right? We will have to see that. That's the first way to recognize. Second comes scanning. What is scanning? Scanning basically is to find out that keyword in the passage. Scanning is to find out that keyword in the passage. Now, how do we find out that keyword in the passage, right? Once you read the question, figure out the keyword, then we have scanning. Scanning is of three types. How do we find out? Let's see that. Okay, what are those three types? In any paragraph, when you're searching for a word, there are chances that you will come across these three types of scanning. Okay, let me just open an example to make you clear about the three types. You can start taking notes, or you must be, I hope you're taking notes because this is important, like I said. So the first type of scanning is we are searching the keyword. That's what we call scanning. Okay. The first type of scanning or searching of keyword is when we have exactly same word mentioned in the passage. Like I said, Sam is a proper noun. You will find as it is. Right. So there are chances. You can write in the chat quickly if you can figure out. I'm gonna dictate a word here. Do let me know if you see that word as it is. Okay. Do you see anywhere mention nasal smell? Sorry. Retronasal smell.
First para, second last line.
Exactly. We have here retronasal smell. Do we have any word mentioned called umami? Umami? Okay. We do actually. Yes, exactly. We got a chat. Second para, second line. Hardik, you're right. Second para, second line. This is called direct scanning. We don't have any change in there. Okay. We have as it is. Okay. That's the first type of scanning. Second type of scanning is when they change the meaning. I mean, not change the meanings, change the word, but not the meaning. So it's called synonymous scanning or paraphrase version of the scanning. Okay, remember that. Now, what does it mean? So I'm going to dictate a phrase to you, tell a phrase to you. You are supposed to figure out what phrase synonym do you see in the passage. So the phrase is to figure out smell from outside source. The phrase is to figure out smell from outside source. Do you see anywhere? No. To figure out. What's the meaning of to figure out? We need the answer. Come on, guys, let's do it. Second para, first line. What is the meaning of figuring out? No, it's not here. But you're close. Yes, Ahmed?
To find out.
To find out. To figure out is to
Figure
find out.
out, find out.
Mhm. And where have they mentioned the meaning of find out? Do you see this? Isn't this to figure out smell from outside source? So detect is find out, isn't it? So detect is find out, and that's the correct answer, to detect external smells. That is to figure out smells from outside source, because they have the word outside source, that is external, and to detect is to figure out. This is exactly what is called synonymous scanning or paraphrase version of scanning. And you will mostly get the second type, mostly. And this is the most common one. Let's try one more just to see if you guys understood or not. We have one more phrase here somewhere in this paragraph, the next one, something called um, latest and known tastes. Latest and known tastes. Do you see anywhere mentioned? If you want, I can write it here. Latest and known tastes. So we have this phrase somewhere mentioned in the form of a synonym.
Second para, fifth line. New and familiar flavors.
Second para, fifth line. Exactly. New and familiar.
New and familiar.
Exactly, Hanshik and Hardik. Both of you are correct about that. Because the latest is new, familiar is, I'm not saying exact synonym, but yeah, they are kind of synonyms and they will use that. Right. Okay, this was the second type of scanning, like I said. And now comes the last type of scanning, which is very rare, but they can do that. They do that sometimes, like 1 to 2 questions, they will do that. What do they do? They convert a full sentence into a phrase, such as um, various occupations working with smell. So this is the correct phrase, correct sentence for the phrase. Various occupations working with the smell. So we have food scientists, psychologists, and cooks alike working out the role of smell in flavor interest. So this is also correct. This is how it works when it comes to synonymous scanning. Okay, let's say we still find out this part, and now we have to find the answer. What do we do next? This is scanning, and scanning is done. 3 types: direct scanning, synonym scanning, and we have sentence scanning. Sometimes they convert sentence into a synonym. So we have 3 types of scanning done here, 3 of them done here: direct, synonym, and sentence scanning. What is skimming? Skimming we have seen on internet. I have seen on internet. I've seen trainers and students misusing it. I never use skimming. And I don't recommend any student to use skimming. What is skimming according to the internet, according to the official people? Skimming is wherever you find your keyword mentioned, when you read properly and when you find a keyword, as soon as you find a keyword, you read quickly because you found the area. You read quickly. That is called skimming. Right. I don't like skimming. I don't do skimming myself. What I do is scanning. First, I search for the keyword. Wherever I find the keyword, I read it properly. I don't do skimming. Skimming is reading quickly to understand the meaning, right? Skimming of the milk is like bringing the important part. So we don't do skimming here. Skimming will let you or lead you to incorrect answers. We don't do skimming here whatsoever. We do proper reading. Once we figure out the keyword and then we find and then we read properly, then comes predicting. This is important. This is important here. So what is predicting? Predicting is when we read the question. Let's say I'm reading this question: which employees may choose not to work regular hours? Okay. Based on this question, what kind of answer are we looking for? That's what we call predicting. I'll explain. So we have, let's say, Um, when will the session start? Okay, when will the session start? So we are looking for a time or an exact time because they're asking when. For how long will the session continue? If say for how long, if the question is like this, for how long will the session continue? We're not looking for a time, we're looking for a duration. Who will conduct the session? Who will conduct the session? Now, if we write like this question, who will conduct the session? So we are looking for a person, of course. This is called prediction. In the first one, we were looking for a time. We are looking now for duration. Now we're looking for a person. Same way, if you look at the question here, which employee may choose not to work regular hours? What kind of answer are we looking here? Looking for?
The type of employee.
Type of, exactly. We're looking for type of employees, a group of employees, whatever it is. It's all connected to employees. You're right. Now, good. Everything you have done so far will lead to a sentence understanding of the question. What is a sentence understanding of the question? When you read the question, figure out the keyword, you understand the prediction. Before you jump to the passage to do scanning and reading, you are supposed to create a sentence out of the question, which is I am looking for, always starts with I am looking for because you're looking in the passage. In your mind, you always think of this sentence like this. I am looking for a type of employee who might not work regular hours or who might work anytime they want. Not working regular hours in the sense irregular hours, right? So I am looking for, then comes the prediction, type of employee who might not work regular hours because it's a keyword for us. That's it. We've converted our question into a statement that we are supposed to solve. We are supposed to figure out in the passage. And that only is possible by reading the question, going with the keyword, and then predicting the question and answer, I mean. Right. Once you do this prediction thing, then you jump to the passage to find the answer. So we'll do one thing, we'll jump to the passage as well. And I'm going to keep, of course, the question open to you all and so that you can see it. I'm sharing the display and keeping the question in the chat on the display as well, if you want to, so that all of you have the question along with that. Now, let's see if we see the answer. I'm going to paste the question here. It could be the first, second, third, any paragraph it's possible, okay? Let's just read the question and figure out the answer. Do you see anywhere any type of employee mentioned who might not work regular hours? Because we have a strategy, right? Figure out the keyword, then we have to do the scanning, quickly figuring out. Have they mentioned any place where they mention about working regular hours or not working regular hours? No? Okay. Where have they discussed the types of employees here? They have.
So
Indoor
indoor
stuff.
staff, indoor staff.
Exactly, Ahmed and Madhu and Anshika. All of you are correct about that. See, they have mentioned two types of employees. You're right. Answer is correct. So they have indoor staff mentioned and outdoor staff mentioned. Outdoor staff worked over 5 days and 38 hours. But nowhere they have mentioned they can work in irregular time. So they can choose not to work regular times, but they haven't mentioned anything. Outdoor staff. But indoor staff, they have. Indoor staff are able to access the benefit of flexi time. A number of these occasionally work from home where appropriate. These, in the sense, indoor staff people can work from home. An example of initiative that can provide flexibility at certain stages of employees' career. So, what are they saying? They can work anytime they want. Right? That's the correct answer. Indoor staff. Now, we always have to check two things. First of all, Is it close to what we thought? Choose not to work regular hours. Yes. Second, is it fulfilling our prediction? We said that, oh, we are looking for some type of employee. Yes, it is. If both things are true, then we choose the answer. And also word count, the third thing I forgot. Is it fulfilling a word count? Yes, we said 2 words plus a number if number is possible, otherwise we leave it. So we don't have a number, it's okay. Indo staff is the correct answer. This is how we find the answer when it comes to um, sentence, finding the answer or finding the short answers or finding answer directly in listening. I mean, in reading, right? This is how it is. What happens with the next question? Let's understand also one thing. Once you find this answer, that's good. Next question, for the next question, we don't go back. So let's say I found my answer over here. I will not start reading, or I will never read the above sentence before sentences, then sentence before this. Will never do that. I have to read the sentences next to it to figure out the answer. So I'll start reading from here itself because I found the answer here, though there are hints here, but still answer is here, right? Sequence is always maintained in such question type. That means, let's say we have question 1, we found the answer here. You'll never find 2 here. You'll find 2 next itself, either in the next sentence or the next paragraph or next to that next paragraph, but always below, not above. Above is not possible. Okay, remember that. Okay, we don't have to do that, that we go above. We go always below. Now, let's have a look at one more question and see how it is, if it is true, the below thing. Okay, we'll try to do it quickly. How much time of each year is an employee? Oh, such a lengthy sentence compared to the previous one. We have a lengthy question. So when we have a lengthy question, what do we do? How do we figure out the answer? Let's just do one thing. Let's just understand the strategy, how we can shorten a question. Let's do that together. Okay. Whenever we have a lengthy question, we always combine meaningful phrases together and create a shorter phrase. For example, how much time of each year? This whole phrase means leave, I believe. How much time of each year is leave, right? Basically, is an employee able to take? Can take. Because no, we know all it's all about employees, so we don't have to worry about that word. Can take. To look after a relative, to take care. Now create your own sentence with that. Leave an employee can take to take care of someone. There you go. There you go. Done. This is how you shorten the sentence. By such a lengthy sentence, we convert it into short because we converted lengthy phrases into a meaningful word or 2 words like that. That's it. Right. And also now we know what is our keyword. Leave could be a keyword, taking care is could be a keyword, right? And also we do know the prediction now. Prediction because they mentioned initially how much time of each year. That means we are looking for a duration. Done. So now comes that one sentence that we are searching. I am looking for duration for which employee can take a leave to take care of someone. Very simple statement. I am looking for duration for which employee can take leave to take care of someone. That's it. Right. In the passage, you might find as a keyword to take care or leave or, and yes, and the prediction is, and I mean, the answer is mentioned somewhere, will be mentioned somewhere in the form of a number or something like that, right? This question is demanding us to find out how much time of each year. And if I go above in the passage, last answer I found out here. So I'll start reading from here and then I go below. Do you see anywhere you see the answer? I mean, do you see anywhere answer mentioned for this question?
So 9 weeks.
9 weeks. Okay. Do you take 9 weeks to take care of someone? Leave? Do you get 9 weeks leave?
So 3 week per annum sick
Three
or
weeks,
three.
exactly. Per annum in the sense per year. 9 weeks is not mentioned per year. That is maternity leave or paternal leave. That is set. Okay. That is set. So answer is 3 weeks. Per annum is per year. That is the correct answer. Sick or carers leave. That is the correct answer. So we are looking for how much time off each year. That is duration. So we write 3 weeks. Now some people might add per annum. And that is not incorrect logically. Technically, it's incorrect. Why? because we have 2 words only allowed. Plus a number is okay. So 3 is a number, that's okay. But 3 weeks per annum, it becomes 3 words and a number that is not allowed. So we write only 3 weeks. Okay, we write only 3 weeks. And that's how you find out the answer when it comes to sentence completion. Okay, all of you clear about how we search for the answer? Yes, I hope. Okay, good. Even if we have larger paragraphs or a little bit larger paragraph or very large paragraphs, the strategy will not change. The strategy will not change. The only thing that will change is our perspective of looking at the passage. Let's understand that as well, okay? This was a very short paragraph. I mean, the passage, very short passage. What if we have large passage like this? What do we do in that case? We don't do anything. We have to, first of all, get our psychology clear in this case. Psychology is a big problem here. So when I see a passage of this size, what happens to me? I will look at it as one passage in one go. I'll say, oh, I might find an answer in any of these sentences, and this is too much to read. This is going to create problems for me. This is generally what we see and how we see paragraphs, right, in IELTS reading, and this leads to stress and problems in finding the answer. Don't do that. Okay, so how do we remove this worry? Remember that your answer will be in one of the sentences, not the complete passage, first of all. Secondly, don't see the passage in one go. Always either zoom. In CBT you can zoom. In pen and paper you can hide other paragraphs. Whichever paragraph you're reading, only focus on that. If you're finding hints or keywords, only focus on one paragraph at a time. Now it doesn't look like much. It's like 1 or 2 sentences, max 3. Same here, max 3. Same here, max 3. And then you keep searching the information, right? What you see right now is a tiny paragraph like the last one. But if you zoom out, you see, oh my God, there is so much to read here. What will I do now? So never do that thinking like there's so much to read. There's all actually in paragraph not more than 2 to 3 sentences. Doesn't matter the size of the paragraph, strategy will stay the same. It's just our psychology tells us there is such big paragraph, we have to try something new. You don't have to. See, when you drive a car, let it be very difficult traffic or easy traffic, you use the same strategy everywhere. Right? ABC, that is acceleration, brake, and clutch. If you have a manual car, right? And then you have the gear, you change the gear wherever needed. Same strategy. It's just a little bit traffic is there. So you try to get rid of the traffic. That's it. Strategy will never change. It will stay the same. The fundamental strategy. Okay. If you have any doubt, please do ask, or else we jump towards listening now. No? Okay. If you do have, you can ask anytime, of course, right? You don't have to worry about that at all. You can open your mic anytime and ask the question. Now comes listening, I mean. So listening has a structure as well, and we have a question type to discuss too. And in listening, we have a question type, but before, like I said, a structure. In listening, you get 40 questions as well, like in reading. But the time is according to the audio they play. They play an audio which is anything between 25 and 30 minutes, not more than 20 minutes. I've seen 25, 26, 27, 28, something like that. Okay. And you do get extra time in here depending on CBT and pen and paper time. I'll explain. CBT, you will always get 2 minutes only to check your answers and write down in the answer sheet. And in pen and paper, you will get 10 minutes. You're saying, why, Sam? See, whenever the audio is playing, you choose the answer directly. You don't have to take notes at all, even. And these 2 minutes and 10 minutes are just to put the answers in the answer sheet. Okay. Now, because most of the answers in CPT are select, tick, select, tick, you don't have to do anything at the end. Like some of the answers which you have written in your notepad, in CBT, you get extra notepad in like pen and paper to write down the answer where you have to write down the spelling. You don't type the spelling, right? Let's say the answer is fill in the blanks. So you don't type that. You write the answer in notepad initially. Later you type it in the remaining last 2 minutes, which is generally not more than 5 to 6 questions. Rest of the question types are select from this type, select from that type. You have options. So in there you have options like that, right? Always. When it comes to pen and paper, it doesn't matter what it is, you always write in the question paper, first of all, the answers. I mean, you select, write whatever you want in the question paper, all of them, 40 questions, all of them. And later you copy them to the answer sheet. Answer sheet is completely separate from the question paper. Okay, in case of pen and paper. In CBT, computer itself has everything, question paper and answer sheet both. Okay. So pen and paper will have they have to give extra time because all the answers have to be copied to the answer sheet. Of course, you will not have the chance to change it, but if you want, you can change it. But guess what? There is no chance. Audio is gone. They only play the audio once. There is no chance, right? There's no rewind. There's nothing. You just play once. That's it. All you can do is check the volume of your headphone. That's it. Nothing else, right? So you get extra time in here, but this time is only to copy the answers, nothing to change the answer, anything like that. Okay. These 40 questions then are subdivided in 4 sections. Section 1, Section 2, Section 3, and Section 4. Each section will have 10 questions and the difficulty level will keep increasing. That means Section 4 is the most difficult, Section 1 is the least difficult. Section 2 a little bit more, Section 3 more, like a lot, and Section 4 is the most difficult. Okay, remember that. So today we have pattern remains same for CBT. Yes, Ahmed, no change whatsoever. Not even a question or instruction change, nothing. Same pattern, okay? Section 1 and 2 are the easiest, like I said. And section 1 and 2 are easier also for one more reason. They both have context from general life, like general context. General context in the sense, I'm not saying general training and academic are different. They are both are same. Question paper is also same. It's just the context in section 1 and 2 is general. That means what happens in everyday life. You know, we get calls from people, we get instructions, we get this and that. Same. Section 3 and 4 are academic context. We'll see them other day. Today we have to focus on section 1 and 2 and one question type out of these, right? So we have a general context in section 1 and 2. If they both have same context, why have they created 2 sections? Why could not they create 1 section only? Well, the reason for that is they have to have different types of talks. Section 1 will always be a conversation. Conversation in the sense there will be 2 people talking, one person asking for question and replying answer, or vice versa, right? Section 2 will always be a monologue. Monologue in the sense one person giving information and you have to listen to the information, write the answer. Here 2 people are giving information, you're writing the answer. This is quite easy. This is a little bit difficult, but not that difficult. Okay, remember that. Okay, section 1 and 2. Typing answer will take time in CBT, like question. Yes, it will take time, but you don't have to type the answer. Like I said, Ahmed, we get a piece of paper, like a hard copy and a pen. You can write the answer there first and then copy them to the computer later. You don't have to type. Right? I hope it is clear. Okay, cool. So, fine. Okay. Now comes each question. Like let's say we have section 1, 10 questions. Will they play 10 questions in one go? No. There'll always be break in between. So let's say we have 10 questions. In these 10 questions, they have a break. 1 to 6 and then 7 to 10. Something like this. 1 to 5, then 6 to 10. And here same as 11, question number 11, question number 15, one part. And then in between, of course, break, and 16 to 20, one part. So in between, they take a break of 30 to 40 seconds. So there's a break and then question, break, questions, break. And in this break, you can look at the questions, of course. They are given you, they have given this time for you to read the questions, not to just random breaks. Okay. How will the question paper look like? And that's also we need to see. Okay. So that we can generalize. And there is no 2 types. Remember that no academic, no general training, only one question type and one structure. There is no need for second type. So if you look here, we have section 1, always 1 to 10, but you have question 1 to 6 first, because they have to take a break after 6 questions. 1 to 6 gone, and then we have 7 to 10. And once both are done, in between they have a break of around 30 to 40 seconds. Then we have section 2. Before that as well, we have a break, 11 to 16 in one go, and then 17 to 20 in another go. And then so on and on, they play, right? Only in the last section, we don't have a break. We don't need to see it today. We'll see other day. Okay, so this is how the structure works in listening. Sorry, whenever you're listening to the audio, you're writing the answers in the question sheet, or in CBT you are either writing in the computer or in your notepad. There is no question sheet in there. Okay, all right. Then how do we solve? What question do we have to solve today? Let's have a look at the question type today. It's same as what we have done earlier, that is called answer in short, but the strategy will change completely, because this is not based on a passage. This is based on an audio. So let's understand this question type here. What is this? What is this question type? The question type in listening, that is answer short, will look like this, or answer the question below will look like this, where we have instructions same as reading, how many words, sorry. Then we have questions, not more than 6 questions, not less than 4 questions. So 4 to 6, maximum 7 I've seen so far in my life, but 6, yeah, common 6, 5 or 6. Okay. And as you can see here, we have questions from section 2. How do we know that? 1 to 10 is section 1. 11 to 20, anything between that is section 2. You can see that. Hence, how many people will be speaking? Only one. Section 1, 2. Section 2, only one, like monologue. One person will be giving a lecture on Sea Life Center, something like that. Okay? All right. So how do we use, what strategy do we use in this case? So please pay attention, start writing the notes right now. Whenever you have such question type, remember that you will always get initially around 30 to 40 seconds of time to read the questions and the instructions, of course. We have already read the instructions here. And then we have read the questions here, right? We did. When we have 30 to 40 seconds, what should we do? And what do we do after 30 seconds are passed, right? 30 to 40 seconds, a very short time. So we divide the time in 2 parts when we are doing the listening part. The first one is pre-audio. Pre-audio in the sense, before the audio is playing, what should we look at the question into, what do we read and how do we read, first thing. And second is during the audio, because once the audio is over, there is no chance, you don't do anything. You just already have to figure out the answer while listening to the audio. So we have pre-audio, before the audio. During the audio, that means when the audio is played, what should we focus on? 2 parts you divide your activity into. So first is pre-audio. Pre-audio is when you are supposed to read the question, understand the questions. And how do we read the questions and what do we read? Because we don't have much time, we'll try to read as many questions as possible, as lengthy questions as possible. So I'll always go for 11th first, then 15th, then 16th, and then 17th, and then I'll come back to 12, 13, 14 if I have time, because they are short questions. I can listen to them, I can read them when there is an audio being played. Anyway, but lengthy questions are difficult to read, so I'll read them first. Okay, first thing is to read the questions. Remember that. And the long one, first of all. And when you read, what do? You do 2 things. You do 2 things when you read the question. Number 1 is to predict the answer, and number 2, figure out the topic of the statement. 2 things. You read, and when you read, you predict the answer, and also basically understand what is the topic in the statement. So what was the Sea Life Center previously called? We have the question here. What was the Sea Life Center previously called? So I think here the topic is Sea Life Center, and the prediction, the type of answer we are looking for is a name, because they said that what is it called, previously called. So name of Sea Life Center previously. So we go for 15th. What special event will Sea Life Center arrange for you? We are looking for again an event. They will mention the answer, and the important part is special event in the Sea Life Center. Same way here. Where will the petition for animal conservation be sent to? So we're looking for the topic is petition for animal conservation, and we're looking for location to where to send it to. So this way we do 2 things: predicting and topic. Predicting and topic we keep doing till the end. If every long question is done, we go for the short one as well if we get time. Generally, with practice, you get the gist of it, and you also do short questions, right? You can do that easily. Okay, once that is done, we have during the audio. What do we do during the audio? During the audio, we do 2 things as well. The first one is called removing the distraction. Because when they play the audio, they will, in the audio itself, they are playing something like, oh, there is Sea Life Center, blah, blah, blah. They will try to distract you and give you hints as if this is not the answer and that is the answer. For example, they say, Well, Sea Life Center has many names called ABC Center and MNO Center and blah 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 Center. So you might think one of them is the answer, but no, these are distractions. They didn't talk about previously yet. They say, but earlier we used to call this. So remember, earlier word is important, previously called. So this is called distraction. They'll try to distract you always because you already understood the question in the part one, that is pre-audio. Now you have to listen and not get distracted, remove the distraction. Right. First thing. Second, what is the second then? You figure out the answer by removing the distraction of the first one. Jumping to the next one is called the second thing. So we call it domain. Domain in the sense, one question is done, let's jump to the domain of the second question. DD, domain and distraction. So once I found the answer, we have to jump quickly to the second one. And how do we do that? See, the topic here is Sea Life Center. The topic for the next one is attraction. Attraction, new as attraction or something like that. So what do? We use the word or think about the word attraction and or newest word. If they play any word connected to that, that means they have jumped to the next one. We have to jump with them. Otherwise, let's say I focused completely in the first question and I forgot what is the next one, and it's all a chaos. All a chaos, and I don't want that chaos, right? This is what we called um, distraction and domain. Distraction and domain keeps jumping to the next one. Remove the distraction in here. Once you found the answer, jump to the next one. Change the domain. Now they'll talk about feeding time or main feeding time. Then they'll talk about VIP ticket and all those stuff. So you have to do these things when you're listening to the audio. And there won't be any issue if you do it with this strategy. All clear? I hope all of you are clear about this strategy. If there's any doubt, please do ask me. If there's no doubt, wonderful. We have successfully completed 2 question types, one for each, one for reading, one for listening. Now, after the break, let's understand. After the break, what's going to happen? Something really important going to happen. So don't leave yet. Don't even think about leaving. Something really important will happen. So have a break. It's important. Right now, you need your concentration back. So after 10 minutes exactly, we'll start the session. So stay here, yeah, and set a timer of 10 minutes. We'll be back, guys. Enjoy your break. All right, we are back and we are supposed to understand how we'll, one second, why the light is so much now suddenly. Not the light, okay. So we are supposed to understand what we have to do now. See, what we have done so far is understanding the strategy. We haven't done any practice. Now, this is important. We have seen that when we do take action in 3 steps, this is called 3-step method. Let's understand what is 3-step method. We get the greatest result, okay? We get the highest result and the best result. 3-step method says that we try to solve anything 3 times to understand the whole strategy algorithm, and then we also practice. Number 1 step, step 2, and step 3. One is called train with the trainer, TWT, and that is you plus, that means let's just write not you here, let's just write student here and trainer. Both try to write down or find out the answer together in the class itself. And we did that. I showed you some questions. We tried to figure out the answer. You said to them, this is the answer. Great. This is the time we introduce the strategy. This is called TWT, train with the trainer. First step. For the first time, we practice the question in the class. Then we have something called classwork. Then we call it classwork, right? That is only students have to do it. And you're supposed to do in the class for some sample, 1 or 2 samples for each type. You try to solve it and see if it works for you. That is called student and in the class itself. Okay, remember that. Then we go to the next one that is called homework. You are the person who's solving it and at home. See, all the time the scenario is a little bit different and question types are a little bit different too. So for now, you are sitting in the class trying to solve something. Then you are in the class, but you're not with the trainer. You're doing on your own. Then later you're at home, you're trying this. So when you're doing this, you're solving 3 different samples of same type, let's say sentence completion or find the answer, anything like that. But you are the person there and practicing multiple samples, right? And also when you complete the sample in the class, you get feedback instantly in the class from the trainer. That means I'll be giving you feedback. So right now what can happen is we'll try second part, that is classwork. I'll give you sample or 1 or 2, let's say 1 for listening, 1 for reading, right there, and try to solve the answers. Let it be the time. Time is not a problem now. Time is not an issue. Try to solve as much, try to take as much time you want. That's okay. Once you solve it, the samples, you write in the chat done, D-O-N-E, and then we'll check the answers. And if there's any error, any problem, any issue you get, I'll resolve it in the class itself. Then you try some samples at home and see if it changed anything. If it did, great. We'll consider this the kind of completed this question type. Otherwise, if there's an issue, next day you can ask me questions and we can resolve them again. This is how we have perfected getting the score within 20 days with 3-step method, but it is compulsory to do the classwork. It might take some time to get used to this, home classwork done in the class and getting feedback in the class, but you should all do that. Right? Previous batches have done that and people who did that actually got great results because you're supposed to understand that, you're supposed to pay attention in that itself. Because you're doing in the class, you remember the strategy. Next time you don't have to recite or remember the strategy anyway. Okay, so right now in your chat, I will be providing you 2 question types, 1 for listening, 1 for reading, and we are supposed to complete both of them. It's okay to take your time, no issues about that. But when you complete them, you write in the chat done. So I'm providing the first one. Let me complete first, okay? First one is the listening one. Always go with the listening first, then reading the second one. So I'll provide you an example of reading as well. And this example should be completed as well in the class. Once you complete both of them, only write done, not just one done and then you write the answer. Don't even write the answers. We'll discuss the answers. I'll show you the answers, okay? I'm not worried about the time yet. After 6th or 7th class, we'll have a time management task done. So that time you should worry about time. Now you should worry about accuracy. Okay, work on the accuracy rather than time. So it's okay to take time for now for this class. Till 7th class, you can take time, but after that, we'll have to work on time as well. Okay, so go through these tasks, complete them. Do let me know once they are done by writing done in the chat. Once Majority of the people, as I said, 2 or 3 people are writing done, we'll stop the remaining people. Okay, I'm not waiting for all of you to write done. 2 or 3, more than enough. Okay, all right, guys. Good luck for the task. Please do begin the task and write your answers in a notepad separately so that I can show you the answers and you can check with your answers. All right, good luck again. All right. So sorry, guys. I didn't expect you to complete so quickly because the audio itself has 4 minutes, and I sent the audio at exactly 51 or 52. So it took only 2 minutes, I believe, for Hansika to complete the answer, and the others also not that much. So I was expecting at least 15, 20 minutes, and I was like, okay, let's wait. And I started reading a book and all, and then this happened. Okay, so sorry for that. We'll discuss the answers now so that we see what happens, right? 1 second. Why is it always suddenly on the high temperature? Okay, cool. So we'll start with listening answers and then we'll jump to reading. In listening, we have completed one sample only. We'll look at one answer, I mean, one set of answers. So sorry, guys, again, I understand now you guys are very fast. Okay, world of water or world of water. I mean, you can write full capitals. Better to write that way. It's the proper noun. The splash ride or just splash ride, brackets in the sense you can ignore it if you want to. At noon or midday or o'clock. Feed the sharks or feed sharks. A birthday party or birthday party. The government or government. The or a, either of them, or quiz or just quiz is also fine. This is for listening. This is for listening. All of you, anyone, all correct answers here?
Sir, in 13th month, I have written afternoon.
Okay. We'll have to look. We'll look at the transcript of this audio and figure out if afternoon is correct or not. Yeah, we'll have a look. Sure.
Oh,
No worries. We'll discuss as soon as we see the other answers. Okay. We have a transcript available for this one. Fine. Let's have a look at reading now. In reading, we also did one sample, and I think that was about car parking, something like that, right? So here are the answers for the car parking one. Hospitality department, academic calendar, 1st October, nominated contractor, pre-arranged permits, and Concord building or outside Concord building. Both are correct. I was just checking the answers. Both are correct. What do you think? Anyone with all correct answers? Afternoon as well, you have written, Hanshika. We'll look at that one in a second. But so what about this one? Everything correct or any incorrect answers here? No worries. If all of them are correct, wonderful. You're doing a great job. If not, do let me know. I'll discuss the where do I find the answer and all. So let's go for listening first because you said we have a doubt in afternoon one, right? So here 16 and 17 incorrect. Anshika, we'll have a look now. First listening, you said for that you have written afternoon. Let's see. As I said, the main attractions are still here, and the most popular thing that everyone want to see is the feeding time, especially for the crocodiles and the seals. We used to have the main feeding time in the afternoon at around 3 p.m. But we found that some of the animals got a bit hungry and waiting until then. So we have it now at noon. Now, you might have written 3 p.m. or afternoon, but look, this was a distraction. They changed the answer. They said that no, it cannot be the correct answer because of one reason. The animals used to get hungry. So no, 3 p.m. or afternoon cannot be the correct answer. The correct answer is at noon or noon. That's it. Clear why 3 p.m. or afternoon is not the correct answer? Okay, good. If not, there is a transcript available in the file folder. You'll find the answer there. About the 16th in reading and 17th in reading, let me just open the sample and we'll discuss that one as well. And that will be all. Okay. And we'll see how we can find homework. Where will you find homework? Which document shows the date of term time? So we are looking for a document that shows term time. And I think that is clearly mentioned here. All permit tickets must be clearly displayed in the windscreen of the vehicle during the term time as published in the academic calendar. So date and date of term time are published in academic calendar. You might have written application form or something like that. Correct answer is academic calendar is published in has this information. This is the correct answer, academic calendar. Okay. All right. Good. 17th one was incorrect. What is the start of annual parking permit? I think they have mentioned multiple dates here. Start of annual parking permit. Annual car parking permit can be purchased from 20th September. That's not the starting date, purchase date, and are valid for one academic year from 1st October to 30th June. So that is the correct answer. 1st October is the starting time. When are they valid? 1st October. Not about the purchase time. They're not asking about purchasing period. You might have written 20th September. It's incorrect. 1st October is the correct answer. All right. Any other question we have? Only 17 incorrect. Now we see why, Hardik. If there is any problem, you can ask me. Otherwise, it's going fine. We are able to find the answers. That's good.
So please
Yes.
discuss 19th one.
Sure. What do visitors need to show when parking? I think visitors section is mentioned here, if I'm not wrong. The college welcomes visitors providing parking arrangement through pre-arranged permits. So if you write permits, that is also correct. But because also 2 words or 3 words are allowed, pre-arranged permits would be correct
Sir,
answer.
sir, I have only written permit.
That is correct in a way, but yes, try to see that how many correct answers, how many words are allowed. If it is allowed, having adjectives with the noun, that is won't be a problem. In fact, that is the more precise answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Otherwise, your answer is correct in a way. But yeah, that's a good sign. You'll be getting all of them correct. That's a really good sign. Now, also, where do we get homework from? All of you received yesterday email called resources for session email. Like there's a file called resources for session. You have that, right? Yes. In that folder, now you have two sessions. Session 1 is already over. Session 2 is also available. Homework will not be sent to you separately. Please remember, it will be in the same folder which we did. For example, session 2 we have done today. We have done only one today. So let's say in reading, we have just done one, that is second one. Rest of them will be your homework. Of course, when you open the file, you'll be able to see that which one we have completed, which we haven't. Remaining files or samples will be your homework. Try to complete them. Once you complete them, you can ask doubts or questions. Next day, that is tomorrow, you can ask me doubts. I hope it is clear now. What is homework here? So once you complete, same goes for listening, right? Whichever we have done, let it go. Whichever remaining sample completed, that's your homework. Any doubt we have from today's session or homework or classwork or anything? No? Okay. Yes, Samat, I think.
No, sir, no.
No? Okay, good. So I hope we all enjoyed the session and we'll call it a successful session. We'll meet tomorrow and there's only, yes, every day we'll add sessions. So today we have session 2. So there is session 2. Tomorrow we'll have session 3. So every day we'll keep adding. In your premium folder, every third day we'll have more data, okay? So for now, have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow at 7. Actually, tomorrow's time might change. I'll write you an email. And if you are not able to go with the time, please write back. We'll discuss the timing. The time I want is 6 o'clock will be the best one. 6 o'clock will be the time because there is an emergency. 6 to 8, if you can do it with the best, or 7:30, we can do that. We'll write an email as well, okay, about that. If there's any issue, you do let us know. Yeah, have a great evening. Take care. Good night.